All right. Welcome back to another episode of NBA to the Galaxy podcast. Had to make sure we were live there. There's a lot of stuff going on. Slim is over here just cracking up before the show even starts. So he's getting me going early in here. He's all excited for game day. It's Warriors game day, everybody. In case you didn't know, Slimothy Jones, my co-host here, is excited. He's excited for the play-in tournament that's starting tonight. The playoffs are basically starting tonight. It's win or go home for some of these teams, going into this play-in tournament. So it should be fun. But yes, we are here with another episode of NBA to the Galaxy podcast. If you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, be sure to do that right now. You can wait to the end of the show if you want. Make sure you like the content, but be sure to subscribe by the end of the program here. We appreciate any and all of you. And of course, get in the comments, just like my man D-Rab, holding us accountable. We love it. I was late.
He definitely
Slim was pissed too. Slim wanted to. He's got some plans tonight, so it's my bad. It's been a long work day, but we're here, man. We're gonna start with Sunday though. There was a really, really good game featuring your squad. Went into OT. I mean, one of the best games this season, I would have to say, man. I mean, you had stars going at it in this game. All four of the prolific superstars in this game get into the upper 30s. It was a masterclass across the board, man. But I'll throw it to you. It's your squad. What are your feelings coming out of this game? Obviously, we're going to get into the play-in tournament perspective. But what is your takeaways coming out of that game specifically? When you do have the 6th seed on the line, keeping yourself out of the play, and you weren't able to come away with it.
Yeah. Well, goddamn, Scotty, so much for an introduction, huh? But anyway, man, what a game, bro. Like, honestly, obviously my team lost, but I can't be too mad at it. I mean, like you said, those guys were balling. James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, Jimmy Butler, Steph, those guys was doing it out there. And, yeah, man, obviously on my end, it was a lot of things that even to this day, 2 days later, I still can have thoughts about, like, Jonathan Kuminga received a DNP. Like, with all due respect, he don't deserve that. Like, I'm not the type of person to say many people in this world that we live in deserve anything, but he definitely didn't deserve it. And not only that, Buddy Hield, out of all people, gets the last shot of the game to determine if we go into overtime. Now, don't get me wrong. I know that in a situation like that, we're down 3 points. Steph is clearly not going to get that shot off because all the attention is on him. But I would have felt better if it was a guy like Moses or even Brandon Podziemski to get that last shot opposed to Buddy. I mean, you watch the game. Buddy hasn't played in like 2 quarters, and he gets the last shot. It's just crazy. And I go back to this point, like with Steve Kerr. I have been one of the biggest guys to defend Steve Kerr for the past 3 years or so, but man, it's really hard for me to defend him at this point because the decision he has been making has just been terrible, bro. Like, obviously, Jonathan Kuminga, he has been struggling. He hasn't been great, but bro, he definitely should have gave us could have gave us like 10 minutes, maybe 15. I feel like he would have had an impact because James Harden was just cooking Gary Payton II, just blowing past him every freaking possession, and yet he still stayed on the court. And man, it's just like it was crazy, but I have to tip my hat off to the Clippers, man. Kawhi Leonard, he came out there and did what he had to do. Obviously, like I said, James Harden as well. And even Zubac, man, he had 17 rebounds, I think 20 points, maybe 22 points.
Yeah.
He had a pretty good game. So, yeah, man, that's pretty much my takeaways from it. Just have to be better moving forward, bro.
Yeah, no, I do agree with that, man. And I think that's the interesting thing, obviously, with these playing games that we're going into tonight. Mm-hmm. One game like elimination, that wasn't an elimination game by any means, but it was a game that you decide your future. You could have a week off, a week of rest as two older teams. Like the Clippers and the Warriors have some older veteran superstars on the roster that could use that little week of rest. And so both teams were obviously trying as hard as hell to come out on the other side of this one with the W. But I think it was just a great game overall. I don't think it was like some huge indictment on the Warriors of any means. I do agree with you. I think I would have probably went Pods at the end just because he was having a pretty good game. He was feeling it. He hit some tough shots in that game that were contested. So I don't know. I would have just there's certain things you feel better about, right? And even if Pods doesn't make it, you probably feel a whole lot better.
I can live with that.
Exactly. I think you made a great point about Kuminga. That's something I didn't even notice while watching it, but when you look back at it, it is kind of crazy when you think about options to just from a defensive perspective. Like Kuminga's an athletic player, a lengthy wing type of player. He could have guarded Kawhi. He could have guarded James Harden, to your point. He could have guarded Norm Powell. He could have guarded a plethora of guys out there. I just don't see how in today's NBA, Jonathan Kuminga comes out with a DNP. That makes zero sense to me in general, bro. Like, regardless of matchup. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, like, if we're going to do this to him, why not just trade him? We had so many opportunities to trade this dude this past offseason at the trade deadline. Why are we playing with this dude? Like, that type of stuff breaks a young player mentally.
How often does that happen?
Like, with Jonathan Kuminga and DNP?
Like minimum minutes, or like just like complete DNPs? Like, is that the first one in a while, or does this happen often?
That was the first time in a while, because like at least he would get out there and get like probably not a lot of minutes, but him getting a DNP, that hasn't happened in a while. Like, if he's active to play, he's going to get out there. But
you would think
that just goes back to what I was telling you for the past month. That's why I don't want the Warriors in the play-in game.
Yeah,
because of a situation like that, somebody like Zubac killing us on the glass, man. 17 freaking rebounds, bro.
Having a game.
It was crazy. Like, the team as a whole, they killed us on the glass, man. And obviously we lack size or whatever, but it was just crazy. Like you said that this was, you text me and D-Rail, you was like, this was one of the best games you watched all season. So either you was being dramatic or you really meant that. And I think you really meant that, because I know you had a long season with your Sixers, but that was one hell of a game, man. So you know,
and I think to the other side of things with the Clippers, like James Harden, once again, he proves that like in one game scenarios, his ceiling, he can really max out his ceiling. Doesn't mean the next game you might get 15, some bad shooting. He'll still give you the assists, the playmaking, but the turnovers, maybe some lackluster defense. But for one game, this man can be the best player on the court at certain times in the game. And I thought he proved that, man. He kind of controlled that game. Kawhi looks really good. And if we're gonna get into the playoff series later this week, if I was a Denver fan, bro, I get it. You have Jokic, like he's playing on another level as well, but Kawhi, when he's playing the way he's playing, when he's able to hit the outside shot the way he's hitting it consistently, I don't know. He's a different beast, but yeah, I think when you look at the Warriors, man, going into the postseason, going into the play-in tonight, it's interesting. You know, what has happened to guys like Kevin Looney? I know you're giving guys like Quentin Post, like him, some run here as a big, but I do think that's something you're going to have to figure out down the stretch is like, and maybe it's too late. Like we are approaching the postseason as far as you are going to have to live with the small ball lineup.
Yeah.
But if you have to adjust at all, it always felt like Kevin Looney was a guy maybe you could lean on. Now, I know he's had the injury history down the line here the last couple of seasons, but is there any options there? Like if you were to match up, and I know it's not likely with the way things have worked out, but match up with a Zubac in the postseason, what option would you go with as far, are you just going to live and die with that small ball lineup, or would you adjust somewhat to just try to get some help on the boards out there?
Bro, no, I'm not living with that. Like, I never was a fan of starting Draymond as a full-time center anyway. Now, he can close the game as our five.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But starting off is crazy. Like, to your point with Looney, I would love for Looney to be out there. It just kind of makes it hard offensively because he really doesn't bring nothing.
Yeah.
You know, then you already got Draymond. He's not really a shooter like that.
Yeah.
He can hit threes, but he ain't just no stretch four. Then you got Jimmy at the three.
Yeah.
Who hasn't really just been shooting the ball pretty well, particularly from three-point range.
That's a
so
good
it just
point.
kind of make it like a clunky fit, which is to your point with Post. He's a stretch big, 7-footer. That's why you see him getting a lot of run over Looney and Trey Jackson Davis. So If I was Steve Kerr, I would have started post Dre, Jimmy, Paz, and Steph. Move Moody down to the bench just to kind of like match that physicality that the Clippers
Yeah,
brought with Zubac at the five because they was killing us on the glass, man. That was
yeah.
crazy.
Because even if you just use Quentin Post or Kevin Looney for fouls, I mean it's better
Yeah,
than just
it's better
letting
than
them kill you on
Draymond
the
getting in
boards.
foul trouble.
Yeah, that too, exactly. So yeah, I thought this was a great game. I thought this was a game where the Clippers did show their strengths, but on the
Mhm.
other side, I mean, Jimmy had a hell of a game. He was getting to the free throw line at will. Was very steady, patient with his game, as always when he's playing his best. Comes up with the late injury though, the quad, the knee to the quad, something
Yeah,
like that. Man, he was hobbling around. Maybe change the ending of that game. Don't want to undersell that either, right? With Jimmy hobbling around at the end. Um, how are we feeling? How are we feeling going into tonight? Just overall, before we get into the actual games tonight, how are we feeling?
my confidence is pretty high, man. These guys know that what's at stake here. Like, bro, Draymond made a comment after the last this past Sunday game, and he was like, you know, they're not senior citizens. And I'm not knocking that, but Draymond, let's not act like if you guys were to get like 4 days off, that wouldn't be helpful.
Helpful, yeah,
Opposed, yeah, like opposed to us, forbid if we lose tonight, we got to play Friday. Now we only got like what 2 days of rest, and now we still got to prepare for the first round matchup, whoever we play.
yeah,
So for us, man, we have to take care of business. Like it's literally no other option. Like this team, we have been on one heck of a run this past month and a half, just trying to get to this point. So we could definitely need to rest the week, about 4 days off or whatever. So
yeah.
um, hopefully Jimmy is just able to play. I wouldn't expect much of him because that was he did look pretty banged up after that play. And even with Steph, he's dealing with a hand injury himself. So man, if we can just contain Ja, then I feel like we can pretty much pull out the W. Hopefully, my guy Kaminga gets some minutes. I definitely don't see why he shouldn't. Why he wouldn't get any minutes. But yeah, man, my confidence is pretty high going into this game.
I feel that. I feel that. Now, let me ask you this just before we'll start in the Eastern Conference with the Hawks and the Magic tonight. But
Mhm.
before we get into that, when you look at it, if some way the Warriors were able to lose tonight, right? And you
Mhm.
have to go in and let's just say you end up the 8th seed, you would play OKC in the first round. Would you rather play OKC in the first round versus playing them later? And I ask this like genuinely because do you want to go through a grueling playoff series and then play the Oklahoma City Thunder, or you could play them right now? Maybe, obviously not the freshest ending the season like this, but you get them first round, you're going to have more energy than you will going into the second round, I would imagine. I don't know. I'm just thinking of like best
uh,
opportunity to knock OKC off because I do think there is a big difference going in playing OKC versus going in playing Houston in the first round. But maybe it's better
I feel that.
somehow to get the opportunity to knock OKC off in the first round.
Yeah.
Am I tripping?
No, I see where you're coming from, man. Like basically, who would we rather play, Houston or OKC in the first round? But to your point, you make a good point. Like it's like, well, eventually you're gonna have to play OKC. Why not play them to begin with? Pretty much
Yeah,
set the
when you're
tone.
fresh,
Yeah, when you're
fresh.
fresh, yeah, fresh. But I don't know. I don't know if I want to play OKC in the first round. Not my Warriors, bro.
Yeah,
I think I probably want to meet them in the conference finals for real.
because you can get the like not Steph, not Draymond, not even Jimmy, but you can get
Yeah,
those other guys some confidence, some experience in the
yeah, for
first
sure.
round. Maybe
Right.
somebody gets hot going into the second round. Maybe one of the big
Hmm.
guys gets some confidence. Maybe Quentin Post earns some confidence in the first round, and that helps him in the second round. So yeah, I think there is a point there, just to get later into the
Yeah,
playoffs. And I
yeah.
think
You know what you're doing, bro.
from my opinion, man, I think if I was you, I would rather play the Rockets in the first round a lot more than OKC, just because I feel like there's a lot better chance to beat Houston in
I
the
can see
first
that.
round.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah,
That'd be really embarrassing for
I will
OKC
say
to lose in the first round, man. I have a
it
hard time
is.
seeing that.
It would be, but I will say this, man. A lot of Warriors fans getting too ahead of themselves too, man. I've been seeing that. Like it's going to be a cakewalk going against Houston. Nah, bro. Nothing in the
No,
Western Conference
yeah,
is going to be easy, bro. I'm going to
that's
tell
a
you
good
this now.
point. Because I'm
Nothing's
presenting
going to
it
be
like,
easy.
oh, if you get the 7 seed, you're going to knock Houston off. It's not like that.
No.
It's not like that by any means.
No, not by any means, bro. Like, yeah.
Well, let's get into it, man. Let's get into tonight's action. Then we'll go ahead. We'll make some predictions for tomorrow night's action as well. And we'll get out of here. Like we said, we will be back later this week. So make
For
sure to
sure.
turn the notifications on. We're going to make full playoff predictions later this week once we get some more solidified seeding. So stay tuned on that, of course. But let's talk Hawks Magic, man. We got the Hawks visiting the Orlando Magic, the 8 seed Hawks versus the 7 seed Magic. Orlando's a 5.5-point favorite in this one, so they're favored to win by 6 or more. How are you feeling about this, man? I'm very surprised from the perspective of start of season, end of season, seeing the Orlando Magic in this situation. The start of the season, I would have picked them to finish in the top 5, 6 of the East.
That's fair. That's fair.
They didn't. They had some injuries mixed in there. How are you feeling going into this game, them in Atlanta?
Well, Suggs is out for the season as well as Jalen Johnson. So on both sides, those are two key players that's not going to be playing in this game. So I feel like, man, with the Hawks, I may have to lean more so towards them because the rookie, he has been balling to end the season out. And I think he has
Ricochet?
Ricochet. I think he has a case to win Rookie of the Year for sure. Like obviously Stephon Castle was the favorite, but he's been balling the past couple of weeks. So when I look on the Hawks side of things, man, Trae Young, right? He's been in the play-in tournament a lot now. I think just about every year since his start, he's been involved in it. So I think he's looking to go out there and make a statement. Just when you get match up a guy like that with Paulo or whatever, just that star power, who's going to come out on top. It's going to be a fun matchup for sure. And then as well as Cass LeVert, he's one of those type of guys that can have that game that we was talking about in the play-in tournament. He can go out there and get you 30, in a situation like this. So on the flip side of things with Orlando, man, like Franz Wagner, Paulo, those guys been pretty solid, I say, to close the season now. So I'm not taking nothing away from them. I just feel like in a situation like this, I think I have to lean more so towards the Hawks to pull out with the W. So
that's very interesting, man. Because I do lean the Magic in this one, but I do see your point in a 1-game scenario with a player, especially like Trae Young, who once again has a very high ceiling for 1 game. I mean, you make me rethink the spread. Is the way I would put it. Yeah, I was thinking that the Orlando Magic maybe come out here, and I was thinking like the Paulo and Franz game. So you were thinking the Trae and the rookie Ricochet, I believe it's Zachary. But
I think LeVert can have a big game tonight, bro.
I feel that he's another guy that can he can score. He can score the rock.
So according to ESPN Analytics, right?
What's up?
They have the Orlando Magic 65.8% to win this game. So the Hawks are the underdogs coming into this game for sure.
Well, they went 2-2 in the regular season. Obviously, some injuries mixed in there across the way. Dyson Daniels, how do you think that matchup goes? Who does he match up with tonight?
See, look, I forgot all about him.
Yeah.
Look,
I was thinking maybe you throw him on Franz.
That's another weapon. So defensively, he's going to give Franz some, obviously the height advantage, but Dyson, he's a dog. I think he's going to bother Franz for sure. So
you know what Paulo's over under is tonight, points? Yes.
24.
No, man. He's at 29.5. 30. Yeah. So 30 points is the line for Paulo. And it's like you're not even making double your money if you bet that. So it's not even great odds. Like they expect him to get over 30. I haven't even taken a look at his numbers to see how he's been playing lately. I imagine he's been on a tear if they got him at that. But I do look at it as a matchup thing as well with a guy like Paulo. If they had Jalen Johnson, I think that would be – I think the Hawks would be favored in this game if they had Jalen Johnson.
That's a good point.
But I do think it's going to be a good game. You talked me into a close game between these two teams.
This for sure is.
Yeah,
I think the Hawks man is going to come in with the W for sure.
I feel that.
So they would play the Celtics, right? Yeah.
7 seed. Yeah, that's right. The Celtics. And then whoever ends up the 8 seed.
But honestly, though, if I had to choose between the Hawks and the Magic, I would prefer the Magic to be matched up against the Celtics if I had to pick.
Yeah, do you think that's like a better matchup for the Celtics?
Oh yeah, for sure, size wise. Anyway,
that's a good point. I mean, you got Paulo and Franz, and then versus Tatum, and
you got Isaac, Carter Jr.
You got a lot of guys you could throw.
Oh, by the way, when we bring up stuff like that, let me make sure I say no Diddy, because we have D-Rab in the chat, because you know what he did to us last episode, and then Marshall has something to say as well. So make sure we make that statement, man.
D-Rab says he thinks if it was regular season, he would take the Hawks.
That's fair.
It should be a good game. I'm obviously working with bias here, man. Paulo.
Yeah, we all know. You can't even have it, bro. So
I'm rooting for Orlando in the postseason. I know it's not going to go anywhere, but
just do it here, bro. You got a better chance of rooting for.
Because look. Once Paulo gets eliminated, I'm gonna move to my next Duke guy, and you know who that is, right? It's Jason Tatum. Just let the Celtics win it, man. Fuck it. Right. Let them win it again.
You know what, man?
I'm just playing, bro. Honestly, there's stars that I'm rooting for this postseason. There's a couple.
Is that so? Huh?
James Harden, I'm rooting for him.
Yeah, I've been seeing your tweets.
I would like to see James Harden win one, man. Fuck it.
I've been seeing your tweets about him.
Ant Edwards, another superstar I like. Honestly, bro, as much shit as I give you with the Warriors, if Steph were to get another ring, it would put him further up in that GOAT conversation. And I wouldn't mind that, bro.
Well, like I said, if Steph win one more, all time, him or Magic, who you have as your number one?
If he gets
one more ring,
and he gets Jimmy his first ring as well, which I feel like is a big thing. Like getting Jimmy his first ring, like Jimmy comes along and gets a ring with Steph after KD gets a ring with Steph, right? Like he's getting some big names, some Hall of Famers rings down the line here. I mean, even Clay and Draymond as well. Magic. It's tough. Magic is tough. From a resume standpoint, I think you would have to go Steph. From like a talent, if they were ever to match up, it's hard to see anybody matching up one-on-one with Magic. I mean, he's ridiculous. 6'8" point guard, so. Yeah, so I guess that's not even fair. But yeah, I think resume-wise, man. Yeah, I think resume-wise. Am I tripping? I'm not going to say we. Am I tripping? If he won another ring, he enters like what, top 5? Am I tripping?
No, definitely not. Shaq was just talking about this a few weeks ago, saying just put him in the conversation. When we had these debates, put Steph in that conversation is one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel it.
The dude changed the game forever, bro. Like.
Martian checking in with us here. Scotty rooting.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with him, bro. Like,
you know what it is, bro? I loved him when he was here. He gave us some of the best basketball I've ever seen.
I seen you tweet that.
We got the same birthday though, man. We're Virgos. We're August 26 babies. Like that we got a lot in common, man. I got to root for my fellow Virgo brother, my birthday brother.
That explains a lot. I see what I mean. You kind of bump heads a lot, I don't know about the Virgos, bro.
Hey, Jimmy's a Virgo, right? I might be tripping. I believe I looked this up a couple weeks back, but Jimmy Butler is a Virgo as well.
Wow. Well,
I think LeBron and Kobe Virgos as well.
No, LeBron was born in December.
Was he?
Yeah, he born in December.
Why did somebody?
He a
D-Rab, if
decent
you're
baby
still
boy.
here, D-Rab, why am I tripping with that?
Yeah, I might have to look up.
Kobe definitely is a Virgo though.
Yeah, since
Kobe
you said
definitely is.
that, man, I'm gonna have to do my investigation about Jimmy Butler birthday. You might be capping about that, bro.
I mean, I'll look it up right now. Jimmy Butler, a Virgo.
So
But
Martin said Harden's actually was the best PG the Sixers ever had over AI ever.
it depends, man. Like I guess AI is a point guard.
No, he's definitely a point guard.
But like he's like a shooting guard. Like
okay, James Harden, the same shooting guard. He transitioned over to a
but
point
James
guard.
Harden is a pure like point guard. Like his playmaking is I don't know, man.
Nah, bro. He was a pure scorer that had that vision of transforming into an elite playmaker.
Man, is James Harden one of the best ever?
Marshawn said, "Is that a chrome do-rag?"
Chrome do-rag. Martian, it's been a minute, it feels like, man.
Yeah. What D-rag, baby? He disappeared.
Yeah, he disappeared after the
what a guy, man. I can't wait to
Zodiac sign.
Yeah, as a matter, I just thought about some Scotty. They played the T-Wolves, so he got to get ready for that matchup. So
facts, facts.
he think it's going to be easy. Watch. He think it's going to be easy.
He is a top 75, D-Rab, definitely.
Who, James Harden?
He said he got 2 kids. I feel that. That's real life. Chrome Hearts do-rag.
Wait,
all right, bro. So you got the Hawks. I got the Magic.
Hold up.
What you got? What you got?
Who's a top 75? Who are we talking about here? Top 75.
I think he's talking about Harden.
Oh, well, he made that list. Yeah, he made it. Yeah.
Yeah. See, Martian agrees with me. AI's a shooting guard. Because Eric Snow was the point guard for a little bit. Aaron McKee. He's just very small for a shooting guard.
It can be confused because the era we live in now is positionless basketball.
Yeah.
Facts. LeBron, he did play point guard one season and
because I think that's why it confused me for a second because it's fair to say like James Harden was a shooting guard for sure.
Yeah, he definitely was. Yeah, definitely was.
Yeah, even in Brooklyn a little bit, like on and off in Brooklyn as well. Like,
oh no, he definitely was the point guard there.
He did facilitate, but I guess they just had a bunch of different ball handlers as well, though. Yeah, but Houston, OKC, the 6-man off the bench. I don't know. He did a little bit of playmaking there as well, though, with OKC.
Yeah, 6-man of the year. Yeah.
Taking Harden over who? What do you mean, Martian? I think he was asking if you're taking him over Allen Iverson because you said best point guard ever in Sixers history. So that was the question there. But Grizzlies Warriors tonight, bro. How we feeling going into this one? Obviously, you guys got some history with the Grizzlies. John Moran, he just loves flashing like gun sign. I'm gonna stop doing that joke, man, because it's disrespectful to John at this point. But I'm kidding. But obviously, there's been some words exchanged between these two teams. Intensity goes up a notch. It feels like every time you guys square off. Grizzlies, they were having a great season at a certain point this year. And things just started going down and down and down further downhill. Fired their head coach. Here we are. You guys play them in the play-in. How are you feeling going into this one?
Feeling good, man. Like you said, we got a lot of history with this team, man. Like they put us out the play-in when the play-in first started, and we returned a favor the following year. We put them at the playoffs in 6. So we played against them on Christmas Day. There's a lot of history between us. Like obviously Dylan Brooks not there anymore. But we definitely should handle business tonight, bro. Like it's definitely gonna be easy said than done because John Moran has been averaging like 30 points per game in the month of April as well as shooting over 40% from 3-point range. So we got our work cut out for us. But honestly, bro, I'm not really just worried about it. I know we should win this game, man, because if we don't, then I guess I just have to hit you and D-Rab up and just let y'all know just retiring. Because I cannot keep doing this with this team, bro. Like, I can't, because this is like they just lost their rookie Jalen Wells.
Yeah.
That's a huge loss for them, one of their best wing defenders. So we should have fun on the perimeter. Like they don't have a ton of wing defenders over there. I know they got Vince Williams, Lamar Stevens, but hey, if we can get Jared Jackson and Zach Edey and foul trouble, bro, we are living.
I
We're
was gonna
living.
ask
So
you, how does Jaren Jackson Jr. generally perform when y'all square off? Like, does he play well or?
yeah, he played well. He just fouls a lot though. So,
Yeah,
but
that's
he
always the
definitely
big
he
thing.
plays well. Though. I'm not gonna lie to you, he played well. So
Okay, I was just
but
wondering if he maybe shrinks against a matchup like Draymond. Do they match up against each other? Is that how it works?
yeah, it's a Michigan State
Yeah,
on Michigan State, so they be talking trash to each other, whatever. So
it
Spartan
is.
dogs.
It is interesting, man. Which Jimmy Butler do you think you get tonight? Because I was having this conversation with D-Rab off the air earlier through text, and he had 30 points the other night against the Clippers, but sometimes he does have these nights where he's more getting the ball to
Passive.
the other guys. He's more passive. He's more facilitator mode. What do you think you get from Jimmy tonight?
I think we get playoff Jimmy. The reason I say that is because, bro, last game against the Clippers, I can tell Jimmy was locked in
Yeah,
because when he would blow past the defender, he going straight up with it. There was a few times during the regular season, Jimmy have a wide open layup. He wouldn't even look at the rim. He's so
yeah.
focused on trying to like keep the ball moving. He didn't do that last game. He laid it up, dunking it, getting to the free throw line. So I think playoff Jimmy is here and is in full effect, baby. So let's get it, Jimmy. I'm representing you, man. Let's go. Playoff Jimmy. We here, number 10.
I like it. I like it. The reason I say that, D-Rab said he's not scoring over 21 tonight. He's not scoring 21 plus.
Well, he is kind of banged up, but like I said, I don't see who's going. If they have Desmond Bain guarding him, he's definitely going to get over 21 for sure. Like
Yeah, the
he's going
little
to get
shark arms,
he's going to get to the free throw line for sure.
T-Rex arms.
Yeah, they said that man got short arm syndrome or something like that, bro. It's crazy. Like,
That's so disrespectful, dog.
yeah, but he's strong though. He's strong.
He is. But that's a great point. And yeah, I thought Jimmy was very locked in. That's a good way
He
to
was
put
aggressive
it.
for sure.
He get into the free throw line. There is an art to it. He's one of the best in the NBA when he really gets it going. I know there's a lot of talk around the free throw draw. As long as it's in the rules, it is an art. It is a bit of a skill. I know it gets annoying sometimes with these guys that can draw them at an accelerated rate, but Jimmy is one of those guys that when he gets in the paint, to your point, he's looking at the rim. He still do the pump fake though. Gets guys up in the air, get that and one. Like it's just such a methodical way to play because everybody else is moving at 1,000 miles per minute, and he's just locked in and moving at his own pace. I am going to keep an eye on his leg. Obviously, that was something that hampered him down the stretch for the Heat. Injuries in the postseason, maybe a year or so ago.
Yeah, when they got eliminated, he had injured against your Sixers. Yeah, it was
yeah,
Kelly Oubre. Kelly Oubre. I think he landed on his foot or something like that.
That saved us.
Yeah, y'all was toast, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Y'all was toast.
We might have lost that series anyways, yo. Honestly, I can't even remember right now.
It was a play-in game.
Oh, so we did win. We locked up our seeding. Yeah, you're right. Martian says, who's the face of the league now? Luka's is the second option. Ja keeps shooting gun symbols. And then Ant-Man, Tatum. Who comes to your mind?
Well, Anthony Edwards has already said he don't want to be the face of the NBA, so he's publicly said this, by the way. So
he did.
I want to say Wemby. Like, I feel like a guy like that is fit. He fits it. So
yeah, I think that's a good answer. Like, what do you consider the face of the league? Because like the face of the league it's almost like they're likable in a sense by everyone in a sense. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And Wemby fits that.
Yeah, so that's why I say a guy like Ed, he don't really fit that, bro. Like,
right. He's not.
he's himself. Like if you watch some of his post game interviews, he's just being himself. Like
Yeah.
some of the things he say. But yeah, a guy like Wemby, well mannered dude. Kind of chill, laid back, very likable, like you said. And yeah, I could see a guy like that being the face. Obviously, he's going to keep getting better every year. And those endorsement deals and all those commercials and all that are going to start rolling in. So I think Wemby is a good guy to represent the NBA moving forward. So who do you have as the face of the NBA?
Well, I'm not going to say he's the face of the NBA, but I will say the marketing for Detroit has gone up significantly this year.
Oh, so you going to Cade Cunningham?
Cade Cunningham, bro, like he's well put together. The team's competing at a decent level in the East. I don't think somebody from Detroit can be the face of the league, but he is very talented. He's young.
I don't know how I just disrespected this man like this, bro.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I'm talking about a guy that should have been. I mean, he's arguably the face of the NBA or can be the face of the NBA, and that's SGA, man. How could I just sit up there and just disrespect him like that, man? He's for sure the MVP. Like obviously the Joker has been putting up crazy numbers, but SGA should be the MVP, and he's a well-mannered dude as well. Obviously he be posting his posts on Instagram with the captions he have or whatever.
I feel like people be hating on him though, man.
They do. They definitely be hating on SGA, man, because
of the free throw stuff, right?
But it's a skill though, bro. Like
it is. I agree.
So I think a guy like SGA can represent the NBA for sure.
He deserves it. I do agree.
He deserves it.
I do agree. He deserves it. Like I do think he's the most valuable player in the NBA. So
yeah,
face of the NBA. But I do think there's just something off. Maybe it's because he's Canadian. They just don't want it. I don't know. Like I'm being dead serious. Like it just feels like something is off. It doesn't feel like he garners the respect that he deserves as far as what he's been doing the last couple of seasons. But maybe my perception's off.
So you're not going to make a case for your Duke guy, brother Tatum?
I feel like the Celtics are just hated. He's got to be a top 5 hated player in the NBA. He's got to be because I swear all I see is shots fired at him. Yeah. But in reality, yeah, he should be considered. Mm-hmm. He's been playing at a high level for a long ass time, and he's still in his prime right now.
Yeah, keep in mind though, this is the guy that is top 5 under the most pressure to win the championship this year. It's crazy work, bro.
Can we talk about that for a second? I mean, top 5. Who all was on the list? Do you have it on you?
Yeah, LeBron, Steph, Anthony Edwards, Dame Dollar, and Tatum. This is Stephen A. Smith, top 5 players under the most pressure to win the NBA championship this season. The fact that Steph and LeBron on that list is just so funny to me. So funny.
Like the most pressure?
Crazy, man. Like, to your point, you text me and D-Rab. SGA, Jokic, those guys not on the list under the most pressure to win a championship? Like,
right.
What are we doing here?
What about the Cavs, right? Like they're the 1 seed.
Donovan Mitchell.
If he goes out and lays an egg in the postseason,
should be on that list for sure.
Yeah.
He definitely should be on that list.
I think so. I thought Tatum being on that list was crazy. He just won last year. I don't see why there's pressure for him. Maybe pressure to be like the best player on the championship team, but still, it's not the most pressure in the NBA.
Yeah.
Yeah, Giannis, I don't think there's pressure on him. He's got a ring. Dame, I thought was weird too. Dame? He's dealing with a blood clot. How can there be pressure on him? Right. I don't understand that.
And he's probably going to miss the first round of the playoffs if we're being honest here.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, I would throw, like, if we're throwing guys that aren't playing, I would throw Embiid in with pressure. Like, he's not in the playoffs, but he definitely needs to do something. No, I'm kidding, but it is interesting, man. Paulo
says Stephen A. Smith also thinks he can fight LeBron. That's funny.
Yeah, Stephen A. is he's an interesting guy. Yeah, the Phillies laid an egg, Martian. They definitely did not look great last night. But nonetheless, bro, I do think the Warriors, just to get back to the point here, Warriors tonight, I am going to go with them to win at home. I think you guys know what the deal is. You need to take care of business.
Oh, yeah.
I do think the Grizzlies will cover the spread though. Warriors, I think, are favored by 7.5, so 8 points right now. I think it'll be a little bit closer than that, but I do like the Warriors to win. Before we get out of here, man, let's just take a quick look at tomorrow night's action. We got the Heat and the Bulls squaring off. So Jimmy Butler's old team. The Heat, man, how we feel like both of these teams. Obviously, it's the 9 and the 10 seeds.
Yeah.
Who would you rather see have a shot to get the 8 seed or have a shot to make the postseason? Who would you rather see out of these teams?
Honestly, who I would rather see, obviously Miami. I think that they would match up with so this would be the AC. So I think that match up with the Cavaliers. Bro, what's so funny, dog? What's going on here?
This man Martian said Embiid got pressured to walk. Like, just so wrong.
Anyway, man, I think I'm gonna say Miami, bro. Like they match up good with the Cavaliers. I'm not saying that they're going to be able to compete with them, but they match up pretty good. Bam and Ware, Allen and Mobley. They got Wiggins over there. Hero, Davion Mitchell, Heyman Hawkins Jr. But honestly, I think the Bulls are going to beat them, bro. Like I'm not going to lie to you. Like the Bulls has been rolling.
They're playing all right.
Yeah, they've been playing good. Like just think about it. If D-Rap's still here, I think he still recovered from that Josh Giddey game winner from full court. You know, so hey, those guys been rolling, man, for sure.
No, definitely. That's interesting, man. The Bulls have been rolling, and it just feels like why do they want to make the playoffs if the Chicago Bulls? Shouldn't they be focused on like getting it like a better draft pick? But no, they played really well down the stretch here. You got Kobe White out there. You got Josh Giddey, to your point, playing a lot better. I kind of like Miami to win just because of experience, but it is in Chicago. That does make a difference, man.
Yeah, I'm looking at this team. Like I don't see no center
for the Bulls.
Yeah, I
the
don't
center.
see no center. I see a lot of guards on this roster. A lot of guards.
Vucevic.
Yeah, outside of Vucevic is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like
Patrick Williams. You got the rookie.
So I'm assuming that they go small ball then. That's the only way. Oh shit! I just thought about something. Jalen Smith, he's a big. They just have him listed
from Indiana.
Yeah, they have him listed as a power forward. He's a big. So, as well as Zach Collins. So I'm tripping on that. My bad.
Yeah, they got a couple guys. Yeah, this is a pickle, man. I would lean the Heat, I guess. I think it's just more me leaning into like Eric Spoelstra.
Yeah, that's what
like
I'm saying.
Bam Adebayo, like the experience, but the Bulls have been playing better basketball holistically. So I feel you on that. Mavs at Kings. This one is interesting to me, man. Like it just feels like the Mavs, like, shouldn't they just be ready to call it a season? But if you have AD, if he plays, I think AD, Clay, Derek Lively, PJ Washington are all game time decisions for this game. So I guess that will tell a lot about how much they actually want to win this game. But how are you feeling going into looking at this matchup, the Kings and the Mavs?
To your point, I think it's AD, bro. Like you said, you would think they will focus on like, the offseason or whatever. I think AD just want to go out there and, play in the playoffs. I don't think he just want to miss it at this stage of his career. But it's going to definitely be a good matchup. Hopefully, we do see Clay, PJ Washington, and all those guys you listed, because they're going to need to play against Sabonis, Zach LaVine, and DeMar DeRozan, and Malik Monk. Those guys has been playing pretty good to the end of the season, I'd say.
Unless ESPN isn't like up to date, I did see Malik Monk is actually out for this game. So unless they're just not up to date, which could be the case.
He may be out. So
okay,
it's a loss, but it's not a huge loss. You got Zach LaVine who in a situation like this can give you 40.
Yeah,
DeMar DeRozan can give you 30. Sabonis as well. So hey, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I probably lean towards Sacramento because it's like I know what AD can bring. It's just that I don't even think that the Dallas Maverick fan base is with them right now. Like
due
to what happened, Like
Yeah.
they just ready to get this season over with. To your point, like
Yeah,
I got lean
I
to a
agree.
Sacramento.
I agree with you, man. I think Sacramento, they just shown, down the stretch that they do want to try to make the postseason, and I think they owe that to their fans. They will be in Sacramento, which they can usually get it pretty live in there, like the Beam, right? So,
I like
um,
the thing.
that like faded off really bad.
Oh, it
Like
did.
that was like real hot, like about two postseasons ago. But yeah, DeRozan. You talk about DeRozan. He has like a 30-point ceiling that he could get to tonight. You mentioned Levine. Obviously, he has a high ceiling. I just think the Kings have a little bit more going for them right now than the Dallas Mavericks. So yeah, I would go with the Kings as well. So we would ultimately. Well, I guess we disagreed on Hawks Magic. We disagreed on the Eastern Conference teams. So we don't have to touch on that. But we did agree on the Western Conference. So we would have the Grizz and the Kings squaring off for the 8 seed if things go the way we say tonight in the West. I wanted to circle back to Martian's question here. If you don't want to give it out yet until the episode later this week, you don't have to, Slim. But who would you have winning the championship?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
You gonna wait?
I'm gonna wait on that because I'm gonna have to
Fair.
just really. Because when I say one answer, bro, I gotta stick with that. I can't renege on it. So
yeah, think on it.
Yeah, I gotta
That's
think
fair
on
because
that.
we didn't come into this show with that mindset to think about that just yet. So that's
for
fair.
sure, next episode for sure.
Exactly. Turn the notifications on, Marsha. You'll be notified the next time we go live. Should be on Thursday though. Honestly,
for sure Thursday. Yeah, we appreciate you because at least you're not using any excuse that you have kids. Other like a certain individual here, but hey, so we appreciate you, Mark. Man.
Oh man, Slim on a roll tonight, man. But do you have anything else before we get out of here, man? We're gonna have some fun on Thursday once we have some more solidified seating. But I'm just ready to get to the action tonight, brother.
My Warriors, please, man, do the right thing, please.
It's gonna be a painful show Thursday, if not, bro.
That is it, man. Warriors, do the right thing, man. Just do the right thing.
Come on, help my man Slim out. Go Dubs. If you haven't followed Slim on X, give my man a follow at RTR30111. You can find myself at Scotty Drowned. You can find the pod at To The Galaxy Pod on X and on TikTok. We are trying to grow on TikTok. We are putting out content on there daily. My man Slim has been killing it over there. So be sure to follow us on TikTok as well. And of course, subscribe to the YouTube channel. That is the most important. We're trying to grow on here, and it's the best way for you guys to get involved in the comments, man. That's going to be it for this episode. We are going to see you guys on Thursday. For my man Slim, go Dubs, man. Give him a go Dubs, Slim.
Yeah, go Dubs, man. We out.
Get that W tonight.